Okay, I'm just going to create a quick demo video. We're probably going to do this in class, but I'm going to create the video anyway. We're going to be going over how to set up paragraph styles, character styles, object styles. We'll also go over just a few other smaller things, but mostly this is about paragraph, character, and object styles. We'll also go over the file package feature again, because repetition will help you to remember things. So anyway, let's go ahead and file open a document that you will download out of Brightspace called the styles demo. It's an INDD file. There should be an images, there will be an images folder and a rack card text within the download. So just want to show you some things. If you go to view, you can hide the rulers on your document, or you can do view show rulers if you don't see them. That's within the view menu item. You can also go to grids and guides, and you can hide your guides, or if we push W, you also have to have W pushed on your keyboard to be in normal view. Preview is like this, normal view. You can also, but the same thing as W, you can push W. So you can go into view, grids and guides, show guides. So we can click and drag guides out from the ruler. So you have to kind of click on the black area of the ruler to get your guides to come in. And if you want to lock them down so you can't move them, you can go to view, grids and guides, lock guides. I'm not going to lock mine though. You can select them by just with the black arrow tool and delete them if you don't need them anymore. Obviously, you're going to have a hard time deleting them if they're locked. So you'll have to unlock them before you delete them. So let's go ahead and import a Word document. This will be in the file that you download from Brightspace. So do a file place. This is how you pretty much bring anything into any Adobe product. Go to desktop, styles demo, and the rack card text. It's a document, a Word document. So let's go ahead and just okay, we'll just skip this, but you can click. You'll get a little icon of text, and you can click and hold down and then just drag out a text box and it'll bring it in. Now I'm missing the font, which is fine. We can do a Command A and change the font later if we want. I'm not going to change it quite yet because I have something else I want to go over. But as you can see, I've brought in the text. I don't want the text to be too close, so if I go over here and go to presentation mode, or you can just push W on your keyboard, let's just leave some space where the edges are. We don't want to go too far. Also, as you can see, there's a red plus sign here. That means that the text there's too much text for the text box. It's called overset text when there's more text than how large your text box is. So, so you can actually fix overset text by just making your text box, larger. But in this instance, I'm actually going to thread my text boxes so that I have two text boxes where they're linked together, basically. So if I click here on that little red plus, and then scroll down to page 2 of my document, I can click and drag out another text box, and they should be threaded now. So I have all the front information on here, and then I have all the back in here. But if I actually was to double click and get inside of front and start pushing return, it actually is going into the next text box. So you can see how they're threaded together, basically. Oops. I think I just undid that, so I'll just pushed Command Z too many times. Okay, so I just want to show you that really quick. So we're going to create some paragraph styles, and they're great for quickly applying a style to your text in your document. And styles are really handy for documents with many pages, such as books, which are often designed in InDesign. And you can globally edit the paragraph styles later if you need to, which is helpful if you decide on a different line spacing or different text size or different alignment of text. With paragraph styles specifically, it's for paragraphs. Obviously, that makes sense, but and with styles in general, like whether it's a paragraph style, character style, or an object style, you don't have to go in and manually change all of the text by hand. You can just change it in one place instead of having to go through the whole document. Like say you had a 100-page book, that's not something you're going to want to have to change everything by hand. You're going to want to be able to go into one spot and change it in one spot. So that's why styles are so great. So let's go ahead and just, I'm going to delete out this, some of this text. And I'm going to go do a Command A in here to select all. And then I'm just going to format this text the way I want it to look. I can use the Properties panel over here. I can also use the panel up on the top too, such as Classic anyway. But I'm going to adjust my paragraph spacing. I'm going to use Justify with last line left aligned maybe. I wonder what this one looks like. That doesn't look so good. Okay. Maybe we'll do... Maybe we'll keep it here, but we want to unhyphenate things, so we'll check that off. We also might want to adjust like the font. So I'm going to choose a different font that I like. I guess it doesn't totally matter what I go with. I'll just go with this one. And then, you know, a font size that I want. 11 seems to be a pretty good font size for, you know, I might go down to 10 even. I wouldn't go much under 8 points, but for this, there's not so much text that I need to go that small. Let's do another Command A because it deselected, and then let's make the spacing a little bit wider on this. Let's just experiment. Maybe 13 is good as far as the leading goes, or the line spacing. So the leading is the space between the lines. So anyway, that's looking pretty good. If I push W on my keyboard, I can see what that's looking like. So maybe this is what I want my paragraph to look like. I want it to be this size. This is my body copy, basically, of my, and this is probably more the headline. But if I want to make this a paragraph style, I can highlight the text that I want to make a style and go to Type, Paragraph Styles. I think you could probably also go here. Oops, you could probably also go here maybe. No, maybe you'd have to go to Type Paragraph Styles. And then in the stack line menu, do New Paragraph Style. And then we can name it. So we can name this one like Body Copy, because this is the body copy style for the paragraph. And just make sure we have this checkbox, apply style to selection, and press OK. So you can see now in the paragraph styles box that, you know, there is a body copy. And we can quickly, like if I wanted to make this body copy, I could quickly just highlight it and push it and it'll make it the same style. But obviously this is more of a headline, so I'd probably want to make this like maybe bold, bigger, and then I can even do all caps with in the character panel here. In the properties panel, I can do this capital TT down here at the bottom left of the character. Click on that. Maybe I want it to be all caps, and maybe I want all of the headings that I do to be headlines to be center aligned instead of not centered aligned. And I probably want to adjust my spacing on this as well. So maybe that's how I want it to be. So I mean, I can create a new one. Sorry, and then name it like headline. You can also just name it headline instead of putting the word style on the end, but just for the sake. So yeah, if I have multiple headlines or subheads or quotes or captions, you know, there's lots of different paragraph styles that you can create. Next up, we're going to go over character styles. They're great for highlighting keywords in a paragraph. First, we will format a few words in the paragraph the way we want them to look, make them pop a little bit, and then we'll create a character style based off that formatting. So let's select some words from here, and then let's just change the color. So if we go to Window, CC Libraries, I did share with you the MSU Northern branding library, and it's basically the colors and some logos for you to choose from. So I'm going to use the maroon for this, and I'm going to make it bold. And I mean, I could make it like bold italic, but I guess I'll just make it bold. And let's say I want to have a character style. So this is good for just certain characters. It won't affect the whole paragraph like a paragraph style will. So I can do the same thing, new character style, old maroon text, or maybe like, yeah, you know, maybe something that's very descriptive. And then, so if I want to use it again somewhere else, such as maybe the back cover, maybe I want to make this one that same, I don't know why that didn't, okay, yeah. So it makes it the same as, you know, quickly you can apply. And if I ever want to edit this, I can just double click on it. And, you know, we can actually, you know, change it in here. Change the color of it. Maybe I want to change the character style to be a different character. So, let's see. So that, you know, that automatically should update for us when I change that in here. So that's how you do a paragraph style. So let's bring in another image. But before we do that, let's draw a frame. Let's push W. We want to draw the frame from the bleed line. We're going to use the frame tool. Do a file place to bring in images. We'll go to the images folder in the demo and we'll find the header library. We'll open that up. Now it's not the right size, but we can go to frame fitting and go to auto fit on this. Maybe we just need to highlight it. Okay, maybe, I mean, you can pick one of these. Maybe I'll do that one. It doesn't look great, but it's not the best photo for this, honestly, but I just pulled it off the web quickly. So that's kind of how we can bring that in. Let's actually put like a stroke around this frame by adding it here. I went over here to the stroke. I have it selected, obviously, with the black arrow tool. And then I can add a stroke here. We can actually go into the properties panel and make it thicker. Go to Object, Effects, Drop Shadow. We can add a drop shadow. We can do a preview on it. Maybe I want to have a drop shadow on this. And then if we go to, we can actually save this, sorry for the paper in the middle of your, but if we go to Window, Styles, Object Styles, we can actually create another object style here. So we can, same way we did with the other thing, new object style, name it box with, no, maybe drop shadow, yellow stroke, gosh, and push OK. So we have a new drop shadow yellow stroke object style. So I think if I add another box in here and I want to quickly do that, I can, and then I can just do a file command D or file place to bring in another image. You know, let's say I just bring in another image. There we go. So we can style objects as well within InDesign. So I'm going to show you how to export this out with bleeds in a PDF document. So if we do File, Export, let's just put this inside the demos folder as a PDF print. Save that, and then really we want to be on all pages. You know, most of these settings will be fine. This is the page, the bleeds and marks page, that you can add the crop marks and use document bleed settings. So export that, and we will have a PDF file that has basically has what the bleed that we need on this file. And the crop marks. So basically it includes the bleed and it includes the crop mark that you would use for this document. So you can see where you would cut it. You could trim it with a trimmer in Cowan 112 or the MacLab. So that is kind of how you would export with bleeds included and with crop marks, so that you know where to trim it down to. So these are going to be printed on the rack card, you know, and most other designs will be printed on front and back and then trimmed down to size so that the color goes all the way to the edge of the paper. But anyway, that's pretty much the end of this demo for now.